Hi, and welcome to Lippy Presents Ghost News Network. Today is our paranormal news and discussion. We have an article here. It comes from a website called Phantoms and Monsters, Pulse of the Paranormal. Really interesting site. Check it out. We have an article called Large Bat-Winged Humanoid Observed Near Ohio River in Cobbell County, West Virginia. So it says here that this person didn't believe in Mothman or anything like that until him and his friends saw it up close. They didn't think we saw it or catch a glimpse. They saw it clearly. They're saying it wasn't like behind their eye or anything. They saw it straight on. They had no idea what it was, but they say they definitely believe it exists. They couldn't imagine getting a picture of it because they weren't able to move or speak for about an hour. They were like literally they saw this thing and they were just shocked. They were rocked. The guy lives in West Virginia near the Ohio River, the next county over from Point Pleasant. So it's right in Mothman territory. Just the way they describe it, they said they both estimated the wingspan to be about 14 to 15 feet, human-like legs hanging down, human-like head, but with no neck. They said it was hard to tell how tall it was, that it was flying the whole time. They say that they estimated it to be around 400 pounds. They didn't see any red glowing eyes that everyone talks about, though. They said it looked more like a bat than a moth. It says here, similar to the creature seen in Jeepers Creepers movie. So, yeah, I mean, these guys were out in the woods just going around, and they saw this. They're calling it a Mothman, but it sounds kind of like a Bat-Squatch scenario, so I don't know. I mean, it's right next to Point Pleasant, so it's all Mothman country. What do we think?
So, my first question, were there any other eyewitnesses? That's number one. Number two, if there weren't, at this day and age, I get what you're saying, they were shot for an hour.
Right.
It lasted for an hour, and you didn't think during the entire 60 minutes to pull out your camera phone and start recording?
No. The thing it says or the way it reads is that they saw it, it went by, and they were just shocked. Like, they didn't know what to do.
So it went by for a couple seconds.
They weren't watching it for an hour. They say they saw it clear on, it was flying around, it took off, and they were like, what the F?
I mean, alright.
And I guess, I don't know. It says, they say here for the next hour they had trouble moving. It seemed like it was paralyzing to them, like it paralyzed them. And it said, and also I could read its thoughts when it looked at us. It says here. That's another little quote. All right.
I mean, I didn't experience it. I wasn't there. You shouldn't have said how much it weighed, estimated, because estimating an object's weight is...
That you can't...
Flightless objects weight.
It's interesting.
It's like trying to give a flying fuck to a rolling donut.
I just, I don't know. It approximately weighed 400 pounds. How do you know that?
You look at an owl, you would think an owl weighed a lot more than it does. Owls have just no weight.
That's what I'm saying. So,
Hollow bones.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a couple things in there that said that just kind of...
Yeah. I mean, hey, I guess for them it's a good personal experience that they have, I guess. It is right in...
It's in the area.
It's right in
It's claimed to be
Mothman country.
Mothman,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But the fact that they say it's looked more bat-like than moth-like, again, goes into, like you were saying earlier, or maybe off-camera, it's more that Bat-Squatch looking thing.
That's even go back to Mothman. I mean, there's some people who claim, even with Mothman, some people thought it looked more
Bat-like
bat-like
than moth,
than
yeah.
moth-like,
That's true,
so-
yeah, that's true.
But there have been other Bat-Squatch sightings reported in other places too.
Oh, yeah.
Similar large bat-like creature.
So the question is more along the lines of, is Bat-Squatch a different type of Mothman, a different subspecies?
Not a crypto bat. If you say Bat-Squatch, I'm thinking Sasquatch with wings.
That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
It's
Let's
cryptozoology is very basic.
So let's Scientifically, let's prove that Sasquatch exists first before we give it picks. I'm just saying, not trying to be a dick, but you know. And then I'm sure there's Sea Squatch too, right? Something with like a fin on it. You know, once again, let's try to get the original taken care of first before we start adding different things to it.
I'll just say
That's
this.
all I'm saying.
Now you've given someone out there an idea, and they're gonna see the Sea Squatch.
Shark
Guarantee in the
Shark
next
Squatch.
6 months we'll see that in an article. Oh my God, I saw, you know,
Shark Squatch.
Or it's gonna be a terrible sci-fi movie, and we're not gonna get it cut in on the pieces of
They're
it.
gonna have to patent that shit. now.
Damn executives from Sci-Fi Channel watching our videos.
But, I mean, anything's possible, but
And you know, just to devil's advocate a little bit. I mean, you never know what could have been that, you know, in their mind's eye got blown up. I mean, it could be a really large species of bat. I mean, their flying foxes are gigantic. You know, their wingspan is probably 4 or 5 feet. You know, the big ones.
Right.
So something like that zooms by you quickly. You're stunned by it.
Right.
All of a sudden, it looks like it's 10 or 12 feet, but it's not really. But perspective, you're stunned by what you just saw. You know, there could be an actual natural explanation.
We
for it
just
as well.
had hawks in the backyard. We've had hawks at the house, and you see these hawks flying around. They look massive. These hawks look massive. And then one lands in my backyard, and it's maybe this big. It's a youngling. It's not even a full adult hawk. It's still in its child state, and its wingspan is massive, and it looks twice the size of what it actually is. So anything when you're dealing with wings, I feel like always is a disproportionate view that you get of the object. So, I mean, I don't know. It's, you know, people have always claimed to see weird things when they go out in the woods. I don't know if it's just the creep aspect of it. Like, it doesn't say whether they were there during the day. It doesn't say if they were there at the night. There's not really enough info. It says here they were trying to attempt to get a date of the sighting from the witness. They said the sighting they believe was made in Cabo County, where others have reported seeing the same thing in that area for years. So, I mean, we don't even know the exact date that this occurred. So, that's that whole, yeah, I don't know. I guess personal experience for those people. That's about as far as it'll ever really get,
Yeah.
unless you shoot it out of the sky and bring it to somebody. So, anybody have anything they want to add?
No.
No? Thank you guys for joining us on this latest edition of Ghost News Network. You can give us a like, share, and subscribe. And you can also follow all of our content by clicking that little notification bell to know when all of our stuff is uploaded to YouTube. And if you get a chance, let us know in the comment section what you think about this video. If you have any questions, also feel free to reach out. You can find us at www.laparanormalinvestigators.com. So again, thank you guys for joining us, and until next time, take care, guys.